So this is our design and development facility. This facility is dedicated for mechanical and optical development. So you can see all the parts here, which we have developed so far. We develop here sights, reflex sight, thermal sights, or normal surveillance system. Whatever is wherever we require optics and mechanical, we use this facility. We use this facility to make the design the products.
You can introduce your team also then.
Okay. So this is my team. So Gaurav, Sahil, Chetan, Shreyash, they all have a really very good background in their respective professions. So they are from mechanical, optics and electronics backgrounds. So we design overall like complete product here from scratch, including electronics, then mechanical housings or any mechanical parts are included in that. Then since we are into electro-optics, optical products, so we also design optical lenses and elements here.
Hello. So the first facility that we inaugurated was a dedicated electro-optic repair center. We say it's one of its kind, which means that any equipment related to electro-optics, and basically it's like a thermal camera or a long-range surveillance system. If it's defective, it can be brought out of a facility, and we will be a one umbrella solution to ensure that the unit is back to its normal functioning. That is the idea of the first facility. It happens to be one of its kind in the private domain. The second facility was the electro-optic division facility, wherein we made a revolutionary breakthrough in an advanced air purifier system with an air quality monitor, which not only monitors the air but also controls the air pollution, and which is always seen on the monitor itself.
Now coming back to the second facility, you are talking about the air purification system. How is it going to impact the atmosphere within, let's say, very specifically within the cities?
Ideally, this is basically confined for rooms and elevators and reception area, but what it does is basically, as we all are aware, that the air quality is getting worse day by day. The values are getting higher. I was looking at the values the other day when I entered near the Mantralaya. The air value shown was almost over 165, which is beyond just nearly alarming levels. What this equipment does in a confined space of 150 square feet, it ensures it first measures the air quality and immediately declares whether it's good, moderate or poor. If it's poor, it then switch it on, and within a couple of hours you trying to get into a moderate zone. So the idea behind this is that it gives you the values of the air quality, and at the same time you can better it. This is a very unique innovation because there are, with all due regards, there are very few who can offer this facility in confined spaces. And that is where we think that this is a very good revolutionary breakthrough, because moreover in Maharashtra also now the air quality is getting a bit worse, and I feel this is the right fit for that application.
Yeah, it is a very innovative technology, and it's a very good idea that you have come out with. But how affordable will it be to various offices in terms of the cost, operational cost?
Okay. Firstly, I do agree. It's a very innovative product, and it is purely under Make in India. It is a 100% indigenized product, and really we thank our Honorable Prime Minister to have given this platform for us to deliver such indigenization products and technologies, which without him would not have happened actually. So that was my first thing. We really are so excited about this Aatmanirbhar Make in India. Now, our focus has always been one of the let's put it this way, one of the unique advantages of Make in India is that firstly you can offer a product at least 30% cheaper than the global sources. This is the first benchmark thing that we can do. Our product is so affordable that we have listed in the Amazon portal for 11,800 rupees, in which it is an advanced air purifier system which not only ensures that it can kill the viruses and bacteria, but at the same time it can also better the air quality.
So you mean to say that if it is installed within 150 square feet of an office enclosure, the air quality will be improving tremendously?
Yes, it mostly we will get the air quality from poor to good level. The quantum of time will again depend upon the extent of the air particles that are there, because significantly this absorbs a 5 micron air particle also. But yes, you will see it happening, because the moment you enter the room and you start this unit, you will get the air quality in that room, and the moment you switch it on, we normally see at least a 25% improvement in the air quality within 2 hours.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes.
Has this been patented, and do you foresee any intense demand for it in the near future? How have you postured it in the market segment?
Yes. In fact, when we first started this product under Make in India, we actually had built it for also trying to handle COVID particles. It was done in those days, and which is why this product also has a very safe ultraviolet lamp, which ensures that not only the bacteria are eliminated from the air, but at the same time, if there is any other foreign particle in the virus grade, which has a amino acid layer, it ensures that it can even disintegrate that particle. Potential is humongous. The reason why, because the initial phases of infections or sicknesses happens because of air, and if you can give very clean and pure air to the people who are moving in the streets or sitting in the offices, then a lot of these viral infections can be eliminated with all due regards. I know about an article where there was this exercise carried out in UK. This was a channel which was published in one of the YouTubes also, and what they did was in the UK, because it's a confined space and carpets around, there's a lot of dust particles that remain in the room, and we've seen that there have been a lot of sicknesses that are happening because of this dust particle, and they tried using these type of equipment, not our equipment but a similar sort of equipment, and they found out that the air quality has improved. And this message is now getting into an awareness mode all over, which is what Probe does into trying to build this with an air quality monitor, because as it stands, it's very difficult for somebody to gauge whether this product is actually effective or not. Now, the introduction of an air quality monitor in the system now speaks itself that this product can obviously not only monitor the air quality but also better it.
What is the volume do you see of the business segment in India? Let's restrict it to India discussions. What is the volume in terms of capacities and in terms of rupees?
When we first started this venture, we built an assembly setup that could produce around 25,000 per month. And there were a lot of entrepreneurs and corporate companies who came forward and tried to buy it out on a monthly basis. And but as it stands today, with the air getting more difficult in, especially even the northern areas in Delhi and Mumbai and Maharashtra, we can see at least 5 lakhs of units that can be sold on a monthly basis. And I'm saying this because we are considering all the municipalities, we are considering all the hospitals, we are considering all the hotel rooms, then the lifts that are there, the toilet facilities, the reception. So, and one of the biggest application that has come in the light is in the cars. So the cars obviously also, because it's a confined space, there's a lot of dust particles. People don't want to open their windows because of the air conditioning, and then so one of these activities was carried out by one of our buyers in Delhi, and he saw a distinct improvement in the quality of air within the car. But at that point of time, we didn't have this air quality monitor to attest this. So the market is also, because every car can be thought about having this air purifier. It's very compact and it's very lightweight, and the most important point about that, it's maintenance free. Just one filter which has to be replaced every 6 months, and every unit comes with 2 filters. So this is a dedicated electro-optics repair center, which is called as a DORC. So DORC is basically set up to take care of the equipments that are presently being used over a long period of time and are lying unattended for want of repairs. So the idea behind this is to ensure that, you know, whatever defective equipments are present in the workshop, we will take that and repair it and offer the same product back into its functional use with all the upgrades, so that it looks like a brand new unit. So that is the idea behind it, and this concept came into our mind because when we visited base workshops, we realized that there are a lot of equipments which were lying unattended for want of repairs. And because the electro-optic spectrum is quite big, it was difficult for anybody to think about this possibility. So what we have done is we have offered an one umbrella solution, so that, be it electronics or the optics or the mechanical, we have a solution to all the 3 aspects, and that's what the whole camera consists of. So it's a very bold move that we have taken, and we seem to be getting a very good response from the buyers.
Now you refer to the base workshops. Could you elaborate on what you mean by the base workshops, and in which whether it is public sector undertakings or?
Yes, so the base workshop actually is it's a part of the Army, Indian Army, wherein there is a department which actively works in trying to ensure that the defective equipments are brought back to its functional positions, operation. The EME team works very actively on that, and we also had some interactions with the team. They're really excellent. I mean, they have been in a position to bring some of the equipments back to its functional operations where it didn't involve a major module or a part replacement. We come into the picture like an hand-holding approach to them, wherein we have an access to most of the modules or the components and the parts, where we are planning to work together, so that most of these equipments which are now non-functional can be brought back to its operational position and at a very, very competitive price. So this way it's going to be a win-win situation both for the EME team and for RRP, because RRP will then tend to get its revenue even through this repair, which we consider it as an industry within itself.
Could we presume that these defective equipments are not only brought in operational mode, but also upgraded to match with the present times?
Yes, that's where actually you asked a very good question, because where we come into the picture is, EME team really is quite good in trying to identify, troubleshoot the problems. We come into the picture where these troubleshooting problems can be rectified by replacement. So our role comes in trying to replace it with the recent newest modules, so that the older unit becomes a 2022 or a 2023 unit. So which means that you get the same capabilities of a 2023 equipment and at a much competitive price.
Now, since you've said it almost appears that you are giving it the most latest upgrade technologies also. So how is it going to benefit? Now, since you mentioned of the army, how is it going to help the army in its operational functionings?
So, you see, there is, firstly we should thank our Honorable Prime Minister that he is trying to increase the procurement and into trying to make every soldier self-sufficient, the soldier modernization programs. So what we feel is that, with all that, most of the equipment that were bought in the earlier stage, because in the earlier days, most of the equipment were imported. There was this not a Make in India concept never existed actually, and that was the way it worked actually. But ever since this Aatmanirbhar Make in India has come in, this sector has started gaining a lot of importance, because if you see the bandwidth and the spectrum of the products, it's huge. It starts from reflex sights, thermal sights, handheld thermal imagers, border protection surveillance systems, night vision devices, binoculars, etc., etc. So the spectrum is so huge that though EME team is working, they are unable to cope up with the quantities that are there for repairs. And what happens is that even if they identify, they are not able to then access directly the global manufacturers to get the model replacement. RRP, because it's a technology company with design strengths, we have an access with the global companies who can give us the modules for the of a 2023 design. So as a result of which, we will then integrate these modules in this older design and make it a user-friendly and a latest upgradable model, which will be at par with the newer unit.
In a sense, you are actually equipping our army, to an extent that they are very vigilant and the help in the defense of our country. Now, apart from India, are you planning to provide these equipments to overseas markets?
Yes, I think it's like an auto process. You see, when this Make in India concept came in, the idea that our Honorable Prime Minister had was to ensure that India is self-sufficient in terms of technology with respect to the entire product. So when this technology came into India, a lot of global companies started transferring almost to the extent of 80% of the technologies to Indian vendors. But when they started doing that, obviously the Indian companies started building these products. They realized that the product that they probably were building it in their country, vis-a-vis the product then being assembled and made in our country, there was a significant difference in the costing. So a product that probably they were assembling it for, let's say, for comparison purposes, $100, they found out that the same product could be built for $75 or $80. Yet keeping the 80% technology. So they will the module that they refrain from giving the technology, they ship it to India and then they build it. So automatically, the global market started improving. The third avenue where in auto mode most of the MSMEs got an opportunity was the neighboring countries. In the early days, India used to always import, so most of the neighboring countries used to either import it from mainly America, because they have the finest products in thermal imaging, and they continue to develop, and that's how the Europeans and the others follow. But the consumption is all for within USA, but still they used to export to our neighboring countries. Now, two things that used to always hamper the deliveries to neighboring countries was the need of an export license, because these products are governed under ITAR, and the logistics. Now, fortunately, what happened, someday, we had the DEF Expos in India, so most of the neighboring countries visited. And when they saw the price of our thermal product vis-a-vis the American product, they found that there was a significant difference. But they always, obviously, Americans' quality was obviously the best. So they were very keen to know whether Indians in this Make in India were offering the quality at par, and they were quite happy and excited to see that the products that were exported out of India to them were at par and with a significant decrease in the pricing. The product was more economical. So this also business has suddenly boomed up, and you see the exports in India now is also getting better. India is exporting a lot to neighboring countries, and we have not even touched bigger countries like Saudi Arabia, who are now planning to deploy the same methodology that India has deployed of Make in India. So India, as an MSME, to summarize, I see three markets. I see the Indian market, for which I have always been, we've gone into this journey only to make that India is self-reliant, because my idea, I have been from a background which I have been almost 3 decades of exposure, and initially I contributed in the nuclear fraternity under my mentor Dr. Anil Kakurkar sir. So ideally this is the market that we will always work for, and the two additional arms that we see is the neighboring countries and the technology providers who have given us the technology. They also want to offload their business in India. So
now, listening to you, it seems to me that there is a tremendous potential. Are you then now planning to expand your manufacturing processes pan-India so that you are able to match up with the demand which is coming up within the country and the neighboring countries?
Yes, yes. In fact, if you see, as an MSME, over the last 2 years, we ventured into this journey only after getting the confidence that this Aatmanirbhar Make in India will work. And in the last 2 years, obviously it was a journey for the government to bring this into existence and make it really look real. But for the last 3 years, if you see, or 2-3 years, we were steady with a business of a top line of 25 to 30 crores. Now, as I explained, that business is coming from 3 different sources. Today, as an MSME, our business order book is over 90 crores. So, and we have already started expanding and upgrading our assembly facilities so that we could at least handle 3 times the present load. And which is why we are now also planning to launch our SME IPO which will give us more access to working capital, which is what we need to meet this humongous business potential that we are seeing with minimum of business development activity. We are seeing huge potential, which sometimes we are also surprised.
What is the volume of capex needed for this expansion?
So basically, because our RRP was initially funded by the Maharashtra Defence and Aerospace Venture Fund. That was the startup fund which we got qualified under Make in India. That fund came in purely as an infrastructure fund. So the entire 11.64 crores, of which 4.66 was contributed by us, was deployed into infrastructure. So today, when we see about our working capital requirement, our infrastructure upscaling would be not more than 3 to 5 crores. Our technology requirement would not be more than 8 to 10 crores. And working capital obviously works in the ratio of 3x. So the money, the funds that we are trying to raise from the IPO, we are going to deploy almost 30 crores for the working capital. So we want to see a 100 plus crore of turnover in 2025.
When are you planning to come into the market with your IPO?
We are really working very aggressively, and we are trying to better our December figures, and which will, and if that done, then we are trying to come latest by end March, and if we delay, then it will be in the month of May, but not beyond that.
Now, since you spoke of your December figures, could you just throw some light on the various segments of your margins?
So we have been we are basically a technology company, and we focused on electro-optics, which means we always wanted to build the sights and the cameras and the surveillance systems. Because it's our own design, and because we have our own patents, our margins are better over the others, because we don't have to depend on the design with any other global company. But we take the support of global company, because without that the whole product cannot be delivered. Our overheads are not very exorbitant, so we tend to get a very good EBITDA, and in terms of very good PAT. Now these PATs get better over the coming times, because we are building the same product again and again, so the assembly time gets reduced. The components are then available at a very competitive price, and ever since we have started this journey, we have built a vendor base. So today we have a vendor base of almost 160 who are distributed between the electrical, mechanical and the optical, and the software and the casting. So which means that we are in a position to take bigger businesses, and in a position to take quantum jumps in our top lines. So let's say, 21 we were 30, 22 we were 35, 23 we were 31 crores of top line. March 24 we will be seeing 45 to 50 crores, and 25 will definitely cross 100, because we have a clear order book visibility.
Now, since you have planned your pan-India reach, say by end of March or May 2023 with your IPO, are you then even contemplating, maybe in the years to come, to go globally to establish your manufacturing facilities overseas, so that your logistics become very economical if you are located there in different geographies for your manufacturing processes?
Answer is yes, but the idea is basically because logistics is one of the reasons where it significantly helps us. For example, because most of the night vision devices needs an export license. At times, it takes time to get the processing done. Though the government really tries to work it in the fastest, minimal times. But we've got offers from the UK government to set up a facility, and we've already initiated that. We've got some also an option to explore a setup in Saudi Arabia. Now setting up in UK is an advantage, because your product will get a EU stamp. So it's a European stamp, which allows us to then assemble the product in UK and deliver it globally elsewhere, so that the businesses that needs minimal delivery times, and wherein you feel that the export license can take some time, those businesses can be targeted from this global thing. So ultimately it's a cumulative revenue gain, and it is going to help the company, and also the global impact also will give us a very good significant mileage all over.
So do you think your IPO will help in those geographies, or would you be coming out with other revenue models where you access more fund?
The news of even the IPO has already excited most of our global partners, and one of our global partners has already planned to set up their production activity in India. So which means there will be a lot of exchange of information. They will be giving us the entire design, and we'll have to have a production facility in India. And couple of these global companies have also expressed their interest in buying equity in RRP, likewise, or exchange of equity, because they feel that this is something which is going to give mileage to even the global country as well as RRP, because the entire global scenario has changed, sir. Actually, everybody is looking upon India as the most potential technology partner in terms of offering a product and in terms of also giving after sales service. What we lacked was taken over by the Make in India concept. So now the design knowledge has also come, and we are now all full-fledged. If you see now, even most of the bigger aircrafts also, most of them will be assembled in India. So that you have a product, people will be working with their own hands to assemble their own product. So the whole thing is going to only give cumulative gains. If you have a good working capital partner, I think sky is the limit.
By which year do you expect RRP to be a 100 crore turnover company?
100 crore turnover?
Yes.
2025.
2025. Now, why this confidence? So, what triggers that confidence in you?
The order book already in our hands. We don't have to now run after the orders. B, the fact that we are going to launch our SME IPO, we will be having enough working capital, which we are planning whatever wanted.
Right.
And C is the products that are going to be delivered in the 2024-25 are products which we have already delivered in the past. So we don't face any challenges for assembly. In fact, we will be doing it much faster. So everything, barring natural calamity, I don't see anything can stop us.
Do you foresee any competition from within India or globally into your segment?
There is competition, but everybody is happy in their own domain. So, like Bell and, we have got, we respect Bharat Electronics Limited and Tata's and Tonbo. They have been our main contenders, and they have been main competitors. But, sir, the business has been so much, that, there are tenders of smaller quantities, medium-sized quantities and bigger quantities. So, obviously, the business gets distributed, and wherever we go into smaller, so even the top line that I am talking about, 100 crores, is the segment of quantities of 150 units or 75 units. So Bharat Electronics and Tata obviously concentrates on the bigger domain actually. We do participate, but at the end of the day, I think it's sometimes people see it's fiction, but the type of business opportunities that have opened up under Aatmanirbhar Make in India, I think even if we have 10 electro-optic companies, everybody will have their piece of cake.
Are you planning to enter into other verticals in the same segment?
Yes. So the main sector that we are now entering, we are going to enter, we've already entered, is the anti-drone systems. So anti-drone systems was an opportunity that we got from an Israeli company. They have offered us the technology. We already agreed upon the technology, the commercials, and the good part is that we also got an approval from the Israeli government, so the technology would be transferred in the coming times, and it is a humongous market. Now the potential of business that we talked about, 100 crores, obviously does not include this segment.
So now this anti-drone segment which you are referring to, what would be its focus upon, particularly I presume it will be the military segment which will be of immense importance to you, one. And secondly, now since you said that 100% would be that does not include the anti-drone segment. So how do you foresee the anti-drone segment what would be the margins you are foreseeing here?
So, in the anti-drone segment, the margins will be slightly better than the electro-optic segment, simply because an anti-drone system is a blend of RF, jammer, control system and the electro-optics. So which are 4 big modules, and we will have all these built under Make in India with the technologies in. So the profit margins, once you assemble the system, again comes in the assembly cost, which will also be done over here. So we obviously see a very good margin, and we also have realized now that the selling price that we are planning to keep for an anti-drone system, the soft kill system, we are already 30% cheaper than the commercial market, in the commercial market actually. When we were doing this also anti-drone, we realized that because our anti-drone system obviously will detect a drone and arrest it. Now when we realized that, we saw that the drones also needs cameras. So we got a very good opportunity from a DRDO project also to build a drone camera, and we were very successful. We also did a munition program for solar industries, wherein we supplied 4 drone cameras, and that was another sector that has opened up in a very big way. And we have found out that our cameras, drone cameras, are being preferred, obviously because we carry the EO technology with us. So we are presently also trying to talk with one of the customers to supply almost 10,000 cameras over a period of 4 years. So which means that this is a segment that it obviously when anybody looks at it, it looks like fiction. But once you enter into this defense industry, you will realize that this is all a reality.
So now when you are talking of anti-drone, okay, your focus will be on anti-drone, but now the drones are used for various other aspects, like the entertainment segment, travel and tourism, the various segments.
Yes.
Are you also thinking of catering to that segment also? Maybe not immediately, but in due course, because you already have about 10,000 request of 10,000 cameras over the next 4 years.
Yes.
So obviously, I don't presume that you will be able to focus on the other segments like the entertainment and all.
Yes.
But are you in the near future, let's say 5 years down the line, are you planning to enter this vertical also?
At the present moment of time, we would not want to enter, because we have too many products in the offering. But I can tell you, anybody who wants to venture in this drone business, it's a very big opportunity. And maybe yes, in the next 3 or 4 years, when we are obviously going into the corporate arena, that's the time we'll probably think about. Because I was at one of the Lokshai awards when I was bestowed one of the award to the hands of Fadnavis ji. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we were discussing, the government was discussing, a very good opportunity. I really, you start get tempted to such opportunity, but obviously you can't do everything at the same time. But one of the opportunities that he described was, and what a wishful thinking by the government. So there are a lot of solar panels. Almost, Maharashtra is equipped with 40,000 megawatt of panels. Now these panels obviously are to be maintained and cleaned. So most of them use the water system, the mop system to try to clean these panels. What they suggested was that use a drone and bring it very close to the solar panel and throw water on it and clean it. And that's where our specialty lies. So we can build a spray jet system to the drone so that it discharges the water, keep a payload of 10 liters in the drone, and discharge it so that the entire panel gets cleansed. Mainly the crow shit that sits on the panel and gets stuck, which cannot be mopped and cleansed. This is the solution for that. And he said that if you can do that, all you need to do is bring your drone, bring your manpower, and do the cleaning. And so the cost, like an EPC contract works out to 4 crore per megawatt. So 1% is 4 lakhs. So in 4 lakhs, you can do the entire cleaning. There is no capital expenditure. It's a service-oriented thing. The Maharashtra government also need not invest in buying of drones. They just have to sign a contract and do a servicing. More importantly, it will open up jobs for so many people. There will be people working, trying to, simple logic cleaning, handling the drone, cleaning the thing. So that was one application. Second application, you talked about windmills. A lot of times we say the windmill probably has losses, deteriorating its efficiency. But nobody, because the wind probably is not playing an important role. But these days winds are getting better. So when a drone camera goes on top of a windmill, he can see the defects. And he can immediately send it to a control room, and those can be corrected, and windmill efficiencies can be better. These are all thoughts which have come from the government. Even agriculture, crops, monitoring crops, mining, survey, forest survey, humongous opportunities. Humongous opportunities. Anybody who is venturing into this drone business, he can obviously, the government is just welcoming you. If you have a product like that, bring it to us, and we will do it.
How is RRP equipping itself to cater to this agriculture, mining, windmills, solar segment?
In fact, I think a blessing in disguise. You all entered today, and we just got an opportunity from a global company in Switzerland to offer the technology for building these drones in India. Now it is for us whether we need to take it. In fact, after I finish this interview, I have to go on a call with them, and they are very keen to bring their technology into India. Because drone, yes. So now if you see, we have the first level of banks offering us the basic comfort zone of whatever working capital they are giving in, which was obviously not sufficient, so we went into the IPO mode. One of the other things that has happened, which has emerged out of this defense market, is a lot of these corporate companies, very big corporate companies who are not in the defense sector, they have started evincing a lot of interest in the defense. Now the idea is not to earn money out of it. The idea is because they have got a passion of entering into defense. I will not say electro-optics, but more importantly into electro-optics. You have more corporate companies coming in because they feel that electro-optics is the white collar of the industry. It's not a lethal sort of a product where it obviously is the eye of a soldier, and it's the eye of a missile. It's an eye of a rocket. So it is a very important module for any platform-based system. Now what they are doing is they want to come in as a passion. They invest the entire money in the project. So which means that, let's say we are just recently there's a project coming up for almost 10,000 thermal cameras, handheld thermal cameras. It's a very big project, humongous project. RRP in its capacity or even the SMA IPO cannot fulfill. But we are very fortunate that we have approached by a couple of mega corporate companies who are very keen to offer our product for this tender, for this bid. So we will be just the OEM to them, and the entire investments will be from them into this project. So which means that we have another added branch which probably takes care of the shortfall that we feel we would have missed out because of the emerging opportunities that are coming in. And here it is really an endless sort of there's no binding on the amount of investment that come in. So tomorrow if you have 2 or 3 projects of high value, they are all ready to invest into this, because obviously it's the money that most of these companies who are coming in are with very high cash reserves. So this probably, I hope, will answer your question, that it is a blessing in disguise that any opportunity coming our way will not be lost because of any working capital issue.
So that means we can conclude that your investor will be smiling all the way to the bank with lots of money in his kitty if they stay invested in your shares.
Oh yes, I mean the idea behind doing all these expansions and getting into this emerging opportunities is only to ensure that they repose confidence in our thinking, and I'm very sure that with the quantum jump that they see in the next 3-4 months, in fact they are very keen to even go ahead and bring in extra money in terms of QIP or various other things. So yes, it's a perfect win-win situation, and let's hope that we see a better tomorrow.
Mr. Chudankar, thank you for speaking to us. We wish you best of luck in your IPO, and we wish you tremendous success in your undertakings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. In fact, very good questions that were asked, and I think it was exactly what the industry today is looking for actually. So I must really thank you for, and I hope my inputs have reached you at the right time actually.
Thank you.